Right, I got some new coffee in. So the Ethiopia dry processed Sina Kata Mountain, and then or Kata Mountain, and then the El Salvador Finca Mirabilis Castillo. I've had El Salvador before. I believe it wasn't this one though. So if you can tell, this one is a dry processed. Okay, Ethiopia dry process. That means that they left the berry on these and let it dry and then took the berry off. And these ones are washed. It doesn't say it on here, but these are washed, definitely. It would say, I believe it would say honey on here if they were honey processed, but they weren't. These were actually washed. And I believe the honey process means that they took the berry off but did not wash it. But these were washed. And you can see through the bag that these have some remnants on them. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer here. So they have a remnant, like there's something left behind on them, if you can see that. And then the other ones here, I can't say there's nothing on there. It's definitely, there's still something on there, but they have a more clean look to them, like especially like that one right there. That one looks a little bit cleaner. Let me see. To me, these just look a little bit more messy, if you can tell. You can see the difference. And why is it that I chose dry processed and washed? Okay, this is going to give like that more well-rounded cup. Like you could drink this by itself and be totally fine. Actually, more than fine. This stuff is amazing. El Salvador coffee is. And Ethiopia, I've had Ethiopia, but only in this one. I believe I haven't had any other Ethiopia other than this one right here. This is Mill City Roasters. And this is Brazil, Guatemala, and washed Ethiopia. See, they say washed again right there. I believe the Brazil is dry processed. I don't know if we can spot any of the differences here. But yeah, you can definitely see that they're, yeah, you can see the blend. You can see that there's the washed right there. And then the most likely dry process right there. So yeah, there's definitely a mix in here. So this is a blend, okay? This is a pre-blend, and I'm gonna make my own pre-blend out of these two. I already did that with the two Guatemalan coffees. I had a dry processed Guatemalan. I had a wet processed washed Guatemalan also. Made that. Those were amazing. They are unavailable right now. So the goal is to make now this one next with this one. I'm going to do a 50-50 split. I'm hoping that I get the berry flavors from this with the good cup, like just all around cup with this one. The taste profile on this is very interesting because this coffee right here, normally this kind of coffee you'd want to use with like a regular, coffee, like a drip, V60, something like that. But this is actually also good for espresso too. And that's what's cool about Sweet Maria's, as you can see right here, that this is, it's got its body and bittersweet potential make it an ideal Ethiopia for espresso too. City to full city plus basically means like light medium to medium or medium dark roast. And this one right here, it says the same thing. Good for espresso, city plus to full city. And I'll show you the card right here that Sweet Maria's will give you. Sweet Maria's gives you this card right here, and it shows you basically the roast color card. First crack, first crack is gonna be at about 405 degrees, like, right here, right around here, and into this. It's gonna be first crack to 412 internal, and you're gonna have 10.3% weight loss. Here's city right here if you wait a little bit longer with it in the roaster. And then where I like to be is right in here at full city. Between sometimes city plus, between full city and city plus, city plus and full city is where I'd want to be, like right there. and then also right here. Sometimes I'll push it into this zone a little bit, but I try to stay away from that. My last roast, I went a little bit too long. I actually lost about 17% weight loss. 17% is off this, and it did not look burnt. 16% is supposed to be burnt. Mine did not look burnt. And so it was more like this right here. You can see somewhat of the glossy look that the beans will have as they get a little bit further over into that, burnt section there. I like them to look about like this right here. And the way you know that it's going into this right here is the second crack. I don't know. Yeah, they don't. Yep, they say second crack right here. So second crack, 440 to 445 degrees Fahrenheit, right in here. I think second crack for me most of the time comes in somewhere around right there. Yeah. So yeah, this thing helps out quite a bit. I think there's some coffees that don't really follow this exactly, but it does help quite a bit to just have this out here. They gave me another card, and I want to show you guys that. The first time I've had this, the first time they've sent anything like this, it's actually really cool. Sweet Maria's wet process, okay? Wet process and dry process. Very interesting, a lot different. For me, I find it really interesting, right? So somebody else might not. So wet processed, dry processed. Very cool. It's really cool to see. And then here they are on the other side here. So wet process, dry process, and decaf. And that SWP right there, Swiss water processed, just means that they use water, I believe. And it says, we talk a lot about judging our roasts visually, but all the coffees on this card are roasted to the same level, yet appear so different. The silver skin chaff, including the chaff that remains in the fold of the bean, can change the perception of roasts so much. In wet process coffee, it appears manila or tan, but in dry process, so the wet process, you can see that, see the color of the chaff. All right, but in dry process, and especially decaf, it is quite dark. So yep, the chaff ends up quite dark. It's not even hardly even visible. It almost blends in perfectly with the bean, but on the wet process it doesn't. Very interesting. This, along with surface texture related reflectance, can meet roast levels could make roast levels appear incredibly different. I don't know what happened to my reading right there, but I'm sorry. Please bear with me. This card itself might be useful to keep by your roaster, as well as preparing your own roasted coffee samples to compare your roast to. And nothing beats a good directional light source. We like LEDs near your roast machine to help you read roast levels as the coffee changes. TO. I'm not sure who TO is, but that's exactly why I have this light right here pointing down at this here. So that's exactly why I have that light there. And it does help. I probably need to have a headlamp on to be able to see better even. But I feel like when the smoke comes out, when I'm opening this flap right here, the smoke comes out. It kind of, by the way, this stays up because of a little magnet right there. Actually, it's super helpful. That little thing right there just stays. I'll show you one more time. Boom. Super helpful. That, when you lift that up, a bunch of smoke comes out. And having another light would make it probably to where I wouldn't be able to see very well, but it might be okay. Nonetheless, this is why I love Sweet Maria's. Just them saying this kind of stuff, just pointing things out. I would have eventually probably noticed this, but I didn't. I don't think. I never even thought about it. But that'll tell you right there instantly what kind of coffee you have. You want, like, if you just forgot to label it or whatever, I don't know, you can just, that's what you would be getting here. Like you would, I don't know, it's just so cool. this is how you would be able to tell them apart. I don't know. I like it a lot. So super fun, super cool. So I'm going to be roasting these, and not today, but I will be. You're gonna see these soon. I'm gonna see how it tastes, and I'm going to be trying this. I have a bunch of coffee already that I've already made, and I have to go through that a little bit more. I think I might end up roasting this tomorrow. We'll see, possibly. So I've got a 30-day challenge. I'm on day 11 of a video per day, and so far it's been kind of rough. Like, I don't want to post, I don't want to talk about stuff. It's been, I don't know, it's not that it's boring, it's just that it's so repetitive, and I know there's other stuff I could be doing. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to feel like I'm wasting anybody's click on here. I want to make sure that I'm providing good information for you guys. So it's important to me. And yeah, so I'm trying to learn about this. I think I'll be doing better as I go along. Hopefully I can make this better. But hopefully, if you've gotten value out of this, subscribe if you want to see more of these videos coming up. I've got another 29 days to go. Nope, not 29. I can do math, I think. 19 days to go, and I'm on day 11. So the halfway mark, maybe I can do something special if I can go back and remember that I said this. So, all right, my name is Mike, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your week. Today is Sunday, January 11th, 2026 at 5:25 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. So, all right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.